All right, Destiny, take us away from this depressing topic. Something exciting, please.
Yes, here's some positivity. So, Apex Construct sells 100,000 copies. The developer put all sort of juicy information on Twitter this week, including not only units sold, but also some insight on where they were selling. Construct released on PC and PlayStation VR in 2018, and then on the Oculus Quest in 2019, but has sold more copies on the Oculus Quest than all other platforms combined, despite having only been on the Quest for a year now. So at a price tag of $20, that puts Construct at around 2 million in sales. So this is the game that y'all have been pretty stoked about playing, right?
I've played some of it.
It's been on my wish list for a while.
I thought like literally today y'all were playing it. Was that not this game?
Oh,
Was that Apex Legends?
I thought
we were talking
you were saying
about
Construct.
we were playing Tower Tag.
Apex Construct, I was actually looking at the game today. It's all about mech combat, and it's actually a game that I think I'm going to pick up, and I'll come back next week and tell you guys all about it.
Yeah.
Because it does look really pretty cool.
I don't think it's a mech game. I really
Are you sure?
maybe we all should be talking for a second about what this is a game where you are like a person / robot, and your hand, like your left hand, is a robot hand, only has 4 fingers.
It's Horizon Zero Dawn of VR.
Yeah, you have a bow and you fight off these spider creatures.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
Are you thinking?
Because I was thinking of like a mech combat style.
Are you thinking of the game that I was playing, the Vox Machina?
You know what? I think that's it.
All these weird names.
Vox Machina. I know, right? Like,
See, that's where, like, I guess I'm getting a little bit confused. Like, I could have sworn y'all kept saying it was called Construct or something, but like today when we were streaming, I thought y'all were talking about y'all played it.
Contractors? Because we played that.
There we go.
That's what it was.
That's it.
Nah, that was a different game.
Let me defend the podcast here for a second. So for all of you out there who are like, how the heck do they not know what they're talking about? Apex Construct actually sold a bunch of units when Apex Legends dropped. They even talked about this back in the day. It sold a bunch of units to people who didn't even own VR headsets on accident because they were trying to get Apex Legends, which is a free-to-play game. So I don't know. Maybe we need to avoid the word Apex in the future with games or something. It just gets everybody all messed up. But I would love to know how much of those 100,000 was also those people who accidentally bought it back in the day. And
okay, but a ton of it was from Oculus. And if you can accidentally navigate to the Oculus store if you don't have a VR headset, like, you kind of deserve trying that.
Yeah, but as to reiterate, they sold, for the audience, they sold more than everything else collectively just on the Oculus Quest, just in only 1 year of their time released, which is crazy. That means, well, actually, I don't know exactly. That puts it. I think that puts it. I don't know. My math's up. Maybe my math's off. But does that put it at least half? If that's the case?
Yeah, it should. I mean, it's probably about 1 million. But do you know why? Do you know why it sold more on Quest? There was a video that came out back in the day, and this was the reason I actually owned it on PS4. I bought it on Quest. There was a guy who took his Quest to a football field and played like most of the game running around the football field using the bow and never using his joysticks to move. And this was one of the games they were like, it actually is unlimited enough inside of the game that you can get away with doing this. So I had to try this myself with my Quest, and it is an amazing sensation, as long as you know there's nothing in front of you, to run 20 feet in one direction inside of VR and feel like you're running through a virtual world. It is incredible, and this game lets you get away with doing that. It deserves these sales, and on the Quest especially.
I have several questions now.
Yes.
Because how on earth does inside-out tracking, which is what the Oculus Quest use, work in a football field? There's nothing for it to track for reference or anything.
As long as it's not too bright out, it must be tracking the ground and the surroundings around you, but it works. I've taken my Quest outside. I never let the lenses get exposed to sunlight. I know what I'm doing. I've taken it outside, and as long as there's not too much sunlight, as long as it's getting it's really cloudy or it's getting late in the day, you can go to a park and play games pretty wide open. You can set up a huge Guardian out there walking around, and it tracks really well. Wow, I think there's a side. I think there's a side of this that they're not really telling us about that could have future applications to humongous gaming warehouses where it could incorporate the world into it, and I think it could be incredible.
Well, I mean, that is a thing. There's a lot of VR arcades, especially in like LA, New York, that basically do what you're talking about, where they set it up in real life, and then basically all the headset does is paint a new picture of the world.
Yep.
Right,
And
but those aren't the typically kind of places that you think of, like the wide open, free spaces. And so, man, imagine a VR arcade just out in the middle of Kansas, right? Just it's like you have the entire play space of Kansas,
I feel like I'm being sucked up in a tornado in VR. This is amazing.
It's just a headset that it just shows you what's actually in real life and you're playing it. It's so realistic.
Yeah, it works. I saw there was another video where a guy took a Rift S and a backpack PC, and somehow the inside tracking, he was able to take it outside, and it continued to work even though there wasn't tons of points of reference around for it. So I think there's definitely some potential future in it, but I think Apex Construct, if you haven't played it, it is really fun. It's very story driven. It's got action, but it's not action packed. It's more of a tale to go along on. So I want to finish it. I haven't yet, but it's good.
Yeah.